Up some more stairs. What a beautiful building this is. Welcome to Dan's on the Street. I am Dan. I'm exploring the whole world, city by city, as seen through Google Maps and Google Street View. And today I'm in the country of Azerbaijan, just north of Iran here, on the Caspian Sea, visiting its capital city of Baku. A city that I've been interested in checking out for some time, and I'm excited to finally get here today. Pretty good sized city, about 2.25 million people live in here, and it's an ancient place. But it also has a lot of really cool things happening, a lot going on here. Let's start in what's clearly the old, ancient part of town here. It has that, you can always tell from above sometimes these old town, the original city. Let's drop in, see what we find. Okay, we are on the ground. Well, we're on a car at least. Pretty cool. All right, we're gonna move through here. Clearly has the look of that old city. Very nice. Great old doors here. Love these balconies too. Really wonderful look to everything in here. Pretty neat place. I was surprised at that population, 2.25 million. That's really significant. I would have guessed maybe half that, but yeah, really good sized place. Everything feels very tight and kind of low through here. This is an interesting city for one significant reason, is that it's actually below sea level. Not too many cities in the world, not too many large cities are below sea level. It's actually 92 feet below sea level, so heaven forbid it ever gets flooded in here from the ocean. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. No need to worry here. Super tight through here. Of course, this would have been designed long before automotive vehicles. Interesting little vehicle there on the left. This display here, some of their old architecture. Maybe something's being worked on, perhaps behind there. Not quite sure. Clearly shopping all along here. T-shirts. And some other objects for sale. Perhaps a tourist area in here. I'm sure I would come to this part of town if I was visiting. Yeah, there, tourist center. Here's the old city walls, it looks like there. How about that? Don't you love seeing that? Not sure how fully intact those walls are anymore, but clearly some of it's still around. Oh yeah, quite a bit of it actually. That's fantastic. Very tight through here. Lots of people out and about. Lots of cars out and about too. All kinds of things for sale here. People have been settled in this region, as I was saying, going way back, at least as far as back as the Stone Age even. This is unbelievable here. They found remnants and stone carvings and that kind of thing. Spectacular in here. All kinds of history. They were definitely settled back in the Bronze Age. There's clear markings and so forth. Wonderful. Just taking this all in here. I'd love to get out of this car and just walk through any of these little side streets and alleys if I could. But this will have to do for now. This is amazing through here, isn't it? Some old cannon there. Very neat. Just kind of lost in here. This old stonework. Wow, and there in the distance you can see some of modern Baku. Those are the flame towers, which we're going to get over there, I promise. Love this cobblestone work in here. Wow. Again, very tight. Wonderful for pedestrians. A little tight for this large SUV we're in. It's got to be a little tight. I feel like we're going to scrape along this wall here off to our right. Goodness, we're close, right? Beautiful light coming in. let's pop up, because there's one or two places in here that we need to check out right away. And don't worry, we're going to get outside the city, see plenty more. But up north here a little bit, Maiden Tower. This is it says 12th century. They believe this might have been finished in the 12th century, but it actually dates back much earlier. Foundations as early as maybe the 6th century. Perhaps we're on the roof here of this. Can't quite tell. Well, here's a good view of the city while we're up here. Can't really see what we're in, but you can enjoy the view at least. There's those flame towers. Really unique buildings, completed back in 2013. Great view of the landscape here. Sort of slopes up and down to the coast here. Some great new skyscrapers going in there. A little twin set of towers there. Beautiful view out here of the Caspian Sea. Wonderful. This is so much is going up in here. I was super enjoying just reading all about it. Let's see if we can we must be able to get a ground view of this place. But perhaps not. Another view from up top. Well, all right. This will not do. One more try here. This will not do. Because this is such a unique tower. Everyone's taking pictures from up top and posting them. There's got to be a photo from next to it. Oh, there it is. Isn't that unique? Very ancient place. What an unusual design. They believe this may have dated back to pre-Islamic era, to the Zoroastrians. It was like a fire temple. There was a fire would have been kept up top, and they might have actually been like fire worshippers as part of their faith. From what I read, I don't know a ton about Zoroastrians, but there's a number of like fire temples here. Perhaps those flame towers are a callback to them, I would have to guess. But really neat place, completed in 12th century. And before we get too far, there's another... Oh yeah, here's the palace. This ties into the history we'll get into a little bit later, but the palace of the Shirvanshahs. Let's just drop into a random picture. And it is quite random. It's from the 15th century. Oh, some little odds and ends. I don't know if we have a good wide view of this place. Again, it's not fully mapped, but pretty well mapped in the city here. An amazing old palace, though. Both these two buildings we just checked out here are on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. They're both on the list, which is quite an honor. If you have even one building in your city on there, that's very significant and special. We'll try one more view of this place. I mean, don't get a great sense of it without walking around, but certainly a type of place you would come and check out if you were visiting the city. Again, popping up in all these pictures are these wonderful flame towers. Look at that. Beautiful design back there. I love it. Everyone's out and about and enjoying this site. Tons of 360 pictures put up, but again, not a perfect... It's not 3D modeled here or anything. We can't really get a full sense of it, but it's a neat old place, without a doubt. All right, let's move along a little bit. Let us get down to the water, because that is a big part of the world here. This is a port city. Let's move along this kind of highway here. That's where we just were. Maybe we'll head this way. Quality of these photos, despite being from 2019, are a little suspect, but we can get a little sense of things here. Definitely busy out. Great buildings all around. Some really nice vehicles here too, actually. Definitely seeing some wealth. I gotta love seeing that. Beautiful buildings all down this street. And if it seems a little bit blurry, that's not your internet connection, or I'm afraid mine either. I think it's just these pictures aren't quite sharp. Still need to get a little sense of that street there. A museum center there. Let's drop into some pictures, see if we get a better, sharper view of things. Very nice out here. Oh, super attractive. Tons of families out. These buildings appear to still be under construction back in 2016. Lots of people out and about in the evening here. Really neat. Oh man, these flame towers. I'm so excited that I'm visiting the city here tonight. This is great because I've wanted to see these and just I've seen pictures of them for so long, and I haven't really gotten the context of what I was seeing. So some of the best lit buildings that have been built in the last decade or two. Just I love the LEDs they have on them. Amazing nighttime lighting of them. Just every time you Google a picture of the flame towers, you'll find wonderful nighttime views of them. Beautiful thing going up there, or being remodeled perhaps. This water looks just glassy smooth. A few people out and about. Kind of foggy out today, looks like. I heard it gets really windy here. Carpet museum. Huh, that'd be pretty neat. Let's see, what else could we check out? We're not going to be able to see too much of it, but hopefully we'll get a little sense of this place. Wow, the carpet museum is like shaped like a carpet, I think. Huh, that's kind of fun. There's a great view back of things. I love how those complement. I'm going to just keep talking about these buildings, but you think they're so different than the kind of more ancient buildings here. But they complement it so nicely. Really well done. Okay. Let's move further up the coast here. House of Government. Yes, as you'd expect, there's a lot of government buildings here. Being the Capitol building, or being the capital city. Much sharper views along this way. Okay. Whoever uploaded these did just a little bit better job. Thanks to both parties who did, but really appreciate that. These are from VR360AZ. Thanks whoever put these up and took them. As I was saying, the history a bit. So the Romans, they had 2 campaigns to reach this city and this region, and I guess it took them 2 campaigns. Oh no, we've just fallen out of the high quality pictures. Back in the 1st century, late 1st century, and that's the first written records we have of the city, because I guess there just wasn't a lot written down, or what was written wasn't saved. But the Roman records of the city exist, so certainly there was some small city here at the time. Interesting. Let's pop up again. Okay, let's see here. This looks like a train station here, I would guess. Again, not fully street mapped, but somewhat. Let's move up here, just go down one of these highways. Pretty good quality images again. Just taking in the street scene. Lots of good sized apartment buildings. Again, with nearly 2.5 million people here, you would expect there's going to be a lot of major housing. A lot of the new ones kind of done in this old style, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I got nothing against it. Sometimes it's neat when a city has a certain look, just kind of embraces a certain style, even if it's an older style. But obviously they're not opposed to, you don't have any major regulations against newer looking stuff, clearly. Interesting. Back to its history. So much later, in the 8th century, their Shirvanshahs was the dynasty that ruled the region, much of the region, beginning in the 8th century. And they saw the value of its location and just leapt under the ground there. And we're back out. Kind of just jumping back and forth between high quality images and low quality. Sorry about that. The city was attacked a few times over the centuries by some Russian forces or dynasties up in that from the north. And they defended themselves. They built a navy back in the 10th century. And they successfully defended from raids and assaults throughout the 11th and 12th century. It was massively fortified and developed during that period. That's when those buildings were built that we looked at the beginning there, or some of them at least. Really major developments. Let's pop up again. I'm getting lost in these streets. Pretty neat seeing that though. Sports hall. Okay, we'll drop into a random stadium here. Pretty neat looking. Not sure what's going on here. Can't quite tell what sport that is. Sparsely attended. Pretty neat to get in there though. Good looking place. Perfect circle. Let's pop up again and move over this way. Looks like we're over by a university here. Let's drop onto a street. I think the university's around here, said like. So disappointed these pictures aren't a little sharper, but again, we'll deal. Really big place. Back to its history. So by the 16th century, the city's wealth and strategic position started to attract the unwanted attention of its neighbors, and several forces tried to take the city. And in 1501, Ismail I laid siege to Baku and captured it, and essentially fell under. It switched hands a few times, but essentially fell under control of Iranian forces, Iranian regimes, and dynasties. Oh, there's a beautiful building over here on the left. We're gonna head over there. Again, forgive the kind of blurry quality of some of these images, but hope you're getting a sense of this. I definitely am. Interesting buildings all around. Lots of architects are just having a great time building here, and one of the finest architectural firms and architects of this millennium is the late Zaha Hadid, and her firm still exists. But she designed this building here. Wow, this is the Heydar Aliyev Center. It's a large cultural center, museum, and I don't know, maybe there's an opera building. It's a large cultural center. And really unique design. They did great work here all in the landscape and kind of grounds around it. We're just kind of weaving up this long pathway here. Kind of overcast today. Up some more stairs. What a beautiful building this is. No, she has such a distinct look, and it is such a tragedy she died so young, really. But her work stands, and it really is some of the finest work you'll see. What a treasure that they were able to get a building from her and her team. It's amazing. It's just unlike anything you'll see. Beautiful. So organic. Looks so effortless. It's stunning. Oh, looks like somebody's getting married here today or taking pictures in front of this wonderful building. I certainly would come here. Certainly would come here. Wonder if we can pop inside, actually. It looks like there's a good number of pictures. Not sure what a good image might be here. Just glancing through some of these. Concert hall. Okay, so it's, a museum, a concert hall. It's a number of things. Let's just drop inside one of these. Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe it's just this picture, but it's almost blinding white in here. This is wild. This is not what I was expecting. Isn't this like, nobody designs stuff like that? That's amazing. Spectacular. Unbelievable. I'm speechless. Look at these stairs that bend up into the wall into nothing. Oh my goodness. I mean, these pictures are a little blown out, obviously, but like, these are just so wild. What an amazing space. Pristine. I don't know. Just heavenly. That's amazing. Wow. That's unbelievable. Certainly visit there if you come to town. It goes without saying. All right, let's pull up a little bit, see if we can get a sense of this. Interesting. Okay, let's go down this side of things. Bayrak Meidani. Interesting. Crystal Hall. Let's drop over here by the water. See what's going on in the southern side of things. Pretty cool design here. Super geometric. Not sure what that is. Is that their flag, I assume? I don't think I knew what the Azerbaijan flag was, or I wouldn't have been able to tell you. It's great colors to that, like that. Very neat. I love a city on water. There's just nothing can beat it. All right, since we're down here, let us head over to, let's see, we're not very far. Oh yeah, you can sort of see them here. Here's those flame towers. Let's drive up to them as we might if we were driving into town. Here they are. Unbelievable. What a great name too, I mean. My. They're so great. These are quite new. They were opened back in 2013. Under construction since 2007. The tallest it's only 182 meters tall, around 600 feet, but it feels a lot taller. Again, it seems like you can see them from everywhere in the city, right? Maybe it's just the rest of the city's kind of lower scale. Epic. They really did a great job with these. Looks just like, spare no expense. It just looks really nice. The quality of the craftsmanship just looks top notch. Yeah, it's a hotel, it's an office tower, it's apartments, it's a little bit of everything. I wonder if we can drop inside. It looks like we can drop inside a hotel. I mean, the hotel portion, it's gonna look like just a hotel on the inside. I mean, it still looks nice, but you know, if you've ever been in a hotel room, I imagine it looks about like that. Let's drop into a picture. Looks like just outside. There you go, another view of it. Look how reflective it is. It's amazing. Wow, wow, wow. Now, obviously, as we were up there, notice that we're very near a large mosque here. Baku is predominantly Islamic, predominantly Shia Muslim. I guess this is a mosque. I mean, it clearly is, but I don't know much about this one. Didn't do any research on this particular one, that is. It's got a great classic look to it, though. Nice dome, nice minarets, and nicely framed here again with those flame towers. Wonderful. See if we can get one more view kind of from the ground level of all of this. Very nice. Fantastic. I would spend a few hours just walking right around here taking this in. I swear I would. I love hanging out near new construction like this, just kind of taking in all the details. There's a million things you can see if you're just there and just taking it in with your eyes. This is really neat down here. My. Let us keep going here. A few more places we need to see, I'm sure. Oh, there's so much we haven't gotten to, but we'll drop here by just north of the old town, that Western Caspian University. See what's over here. Looks like another mosque here on the left, I think. Another nice Mercedes. I tell you, I've seen a lot of really nice Mercedes here. There's a mixture of vehicles, but definitely some nice vehicles. Let's see. While I have your attention, if you'd like to support me, please subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Tell your friends. And if you're really looking for a way to support me, consider joining my Patreon page. It's $3 a month. I'm doing extra bonus tours there. Having a good time. Seeing some smaller cities I might not get to on this regular tour. And yeah, consider checking that out. But short of that, I definitely appreciate the subscribe. You know, as everyone on YouTube says, this is so neat back in here, right? Such a unique look to all of it. I feel like I haven't seen a ton of like the cafes and restaurants part of town. I'm sure there is a significant one. You know, everyone here's eating somewhere. I just feel like haven't gotten a ton of that, but I'm sure I've just been visiting the wrong parts of town here. Definitely very busy, very bustling. Ton of vehicles, all is moving around as we go through here. Again, bouncing in and out of good quality. This VR360, they got the good stuff. The other one, not as good. Back to its history quick. So it changed hands a few times. In 1604, much of the fortress was really destroyed, and the Russians kind of became aware of its current state, and they then attacked and invaded in the early 1700s. And they held it for some period, but then it was ceded back to Iran in 1735. Oh, Ferris wheel here. All kinds of fun things to do here down by the water. This is a fun city, I'm sure. Certainly, if you live in the region at all, I would definitely come here on vacation, take an extended weekend trip. Why not? So much to see. All these buildings here facing the water out there. Great drive along here. Just lovely. The city kind of got caught between, interesting tower up there. Russia and its foes kind of in Iran and the Ottoman Empire at large. So it switched hands a few times during the Russo-Persian War of 1804 to 1813. Again, here's a brand new building being built in that kind of, I don't know what you call it, Moorish style. I'm not, perhaps that's the wrong term. But kind of neat. Looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Like to me that looks pretty good. Or like, doesn't look too cheap. Or sometimes you'll have like this effect where it feels cheap, but like a lot of these details look really good on it. Spending good money on that, no question. And then some people are going the modernist route, which I also really appreciate, without a doubt. So Russia controlled the city then after that period. And they built an oil distillery in the region in 1846. And this became a major oil city tons of oil came out of Baku. And by tons, I mean like half. In the early years of the 20th century, half of the international oil in the world was coming out of Baku, which is really remarkable. I suppose that was before some of the Saudi oil came online in the 30s and some more from that region, but back in the early pre-World War I days, Baku was the place for oil. And of course that became its own problem. During World War II, Germany really wanted to get here for its oil. They actually failed. They never got within a few hundred miles of the city, but that was one of their major targets for its oil. Previous to that, back in World War I, so it got kind of caught up in the mayhem of the war and the fallout of, well, the Russian Revolution, and they kind of began there were forces here. Basically, there were groups, the Azerbaijani groups, organized and started controlling the region. And they then suffered pretty brutally during that period. Let's pop up again. Aquatic Palace, wow. All kinds of cool stuff here. Go-kart track. So many like stadiums, cafe. Here's some cool stuff down here, without a doubt. Formula One has a race here, by the way. Have I mentioned that? I don't think I mentioned that. This almost looks like it's in the shape of a Formula One. I wonder if that's a miniature of the Formula One race. It's probably why they have this track here. I mean, obviously, that's fun no matter what, but yeah, Formula One's been here since 2017 or 2016, a few years, which I've been trying to get into Formula One a little bit. I watched this documentary on Netflix about it, and it's such a good doc. I tell you what, it like got me into the sport. I watched a few races after, and I don't know, I might be hooked. It's pretty cool. Definitely if you're at all interested in vehicles, or I'm not into NASCAR at all or anything, but something about the smaller field of Formula One just feels a little more manageable to me somehow. Let's see. Let's kind of go back into one of these further into town. Well, here's a botanical garden. Let's drop in there. We're just taking our time here today. This has been great. I feel no hurry. It's just too much to take in here. I love botanical gardens. Always a fan. Ooh. Interesting winter views in here. Very neat. Baku car market. Oh wow. Well, if you want to get a car, I guess you come up there. Great forest back in here. Obviously you can take tours out into the water, sea tours, that kind of thing. Looks like we actually dropped onto one of their... I'm not sure what this is. Are we on a ship or... Oh wow, look at that. This is a floating oil rig, I think. They float this out into the Caspian Sea. How about that? Clearly this is over by their ports. It's a seaport, so I don't think the Caspian Sea has access. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that the Caspian Sea has access or connection to the Mediterranean. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it does. I thought it was kind of locked in, but I could be wrong. Let's drop down another area over here. The poor quality video. I'm sorry, Hussein. Yeah, I appreciate your effort, but it's just not as sharp for some reason. I wonder why that is. It's recent, too. It makes no sense. But thank you much for putting it up. Anyway, so that was short-lived. They briefly held the city, the Azerbaijanis, but after kind of things settled down, the Soviet forces, the Red Army, took the city back in 1920. And Well, they held it and ultimately until the dissolution of the USSR towards the end of the last century. But since then, they've had their independence and they've really grown a lot and they've expanded and they've invested heavily in their economy and demolished. I read they demolished a lot of the old kind of Soviet buildings and built a lot of new stuff and really been developing this space along the water a lot, the green spaces, and just love seeing all that and just very impressed by this whole place. Very interesting city with a super bright future and a great population to boot. Oh, this looks like kind of a fun part of town. It's such a shame we're not mapped back in here. Or not well mapped. I guess we can actually move around a little bit. Definitely a city I'd be interested in checking out. Seems like a lot's going here. Lots going on. Clearly kind of a fun part of the city here. Here's more shopping and stuff. Again, earlier I felt like I was a little lost. Speaking of shopping, I just flew into a shop there. Sorry about that. Zoological park, all kinds of fun stuff here, guys. One or two more places. I just want to get a peek at this park. That's fun to say. Can go paddle boating there. Some sort of statue there, monument. Beautiful view out of everything. Lots of new stuff. I'll say it, and it's not just like a general criticism of the USSR or something, but you almost can't tell that this was former Soviet Union, right? Like it doesn't, maybe we just weren't in the part of town. Certainly we saw a building or two that has that kind of Soviet bloc look, but I would say that it really does seem like they've significantly changed the face of the city. It doesn't have that look that some former Soviet cities have, which is impressive. That takes a lot of money and a lot of effort. So that's impressive. One more view maybe down here, down by the water, just looking on everything, taking in the skyline a little bit. Baku 2015 Olympic Cauldron. Oh, okay. Let's see. Beautiful pier out here. Very nice. I didn't read much about these other towers here. Obviously, really beautiful one there. Lovely. And again, these twins going up there, they must be done by now, I would think. Looking at 2018 here. Gotta be pretty close at least. Beautiful, beautiful place. Just a really well-rounded city, it seems like to me. Lots of history, lots of new stuff. Oh, we didn't even get up there. And it's on the water. And again, seems like it has a bright future, an exciting place. For now, I'm going to add to my list of places I've been. And let's put it here. If I missed some of your favorite places in Baku, let me know, and I will come back and check them out. I usually try to. Baku, Azerbaijan. Now it's on my map. And if you enjoyed this, check out some of my other tours. I've been all over the world. All these little blue dots represent places I've been. I guess the closest I've been to Baku was I was down in Tehran a while back. That was pretty interesting. All right, till next time.